Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Right, so on your screen right now is the new rankings for the top 10, and this comes from BoxRec. I deliberately didn't do the sanctioning body ones, WBC, WBO, WBA and IBF, because we know that these are somewhat corrupted in certain ways. In fact, I might actually do them one separately. Maybe I might do one later and others tomorrow, etc. So keep an eye out on those ones. But I just want to do the BoxRec one because the BoxRec is allegedly unbiased. Okay, allegedly. But of course, I think every sanctioning body or every kind of ranking system is somewhat biased in their own particular way. Now, the top 10. Here we go. So number 1, Anthony Joshua. Number 2, Deontay Wilder. So these are the champions. So Joshua is a unified champion and Deontay Wilder is the WBC title holder. Number 3, Alexander Povetkin. Number 4, Jarrell Miller. 5, Tyson Fury. 6, Dillian Whyte. 7, Kubrat Pulev. 8, Luis Ortiz. 9, Dominic Brazil. And number 10, Adam Kaunaki. Now, I don't have an issue with the top 10. I have a bit of an issue with the order of the top 10. And that's pretty much what I'm going to go through in this video. Because for me, if you just look at it just as it is, you can probably go, yeah, it's not bad. You know, there's a few people outside of there that could probably arguable switch around, like Joseph Parker, he's number 11, and Dereck Chisora is kicking around, and Bryant Jennings is there or thereabouts. So, you know what, you could probably argue with some of it, and especially with the European champion, Ajit Kabiel, he's number 20 as well. But it's just a top 10 on this one. Now, I know usually I'll do a top 50, but that's a lot of work, and I just want to do top 10 just for now, just to give you guys a bit of an update of the current standings. And this is what a lot of promoters, managers, boxers, they use this one to say where they are in the world rankings. So, for example, Anthony Joshua, he's beaten number 3 ranked in Alexander Povetkin, number 6 ranked in Dillian Whyte, number 9 ranked Dominic Brazil, and number 11 ranked Joseph Parker, and so on. Okay, and Deontay Wilder's beaten number 8 ranked Luis Ortiz. So that's kind of fair enough, but it's outside of the champions that I want to talk about. So number 3 to number 10, where I'm not necessarily agreeing with the position that they're in. Now, if we start off with Alexander Povetkin, okay, so he just come off a loss to Anthony Joshua. Okay, but prior to that, and his resume is very, very stellar. I mean, if you look at the top 50, which is what we're going to be using, the top 50, he's beaten several of the fighters currently on the top 50. And of course, when he fought them, they were, of course, a little bit higher in the rankings at the time as well. So I don't really have an issue with Povetkin being number 3 at all. And because he has just lost to a champion. Likewise with Luis Ortiz, I have no problem him being a top 10 because he has only just lost to a world champion, right? The rest is pretty much where I kind of have a bit of an issue with. For example, number 4, Jarrell Miller. Now that's debatable because he has beaten a couple of guys in the top 50. So with Jarrell Miller, his highest ranking win would probably be, if I can go down the list here, would be number 25, Tomasz Adamek. So that's his best win currently, is Tomasz Adamek, where he was supposed to win, and he dominated him very, very easily. And he's also beaten number 27 in Johan Duapa, and he's beaten number 34, Marius Wack, and number 39, Jared Washington. So he's beaten 4 of the current top 50. So, okay, that's fair enough. Okay, so for a number 4 position, not too bad. Okay, it's not too bad at all. Dillian Whyte, number 6. Okay, now Dillian Whyte, he's beaten also 4 currently of the top 50, but all these guys are way higher than what Jarrell Miller has. For example, Dillian Whyte, he's beaten number 11, Joseph Parker, number 12, Dereck Chisora, number 18, Robert Helenius, and number 26, Lucas Brown. So 4 of his opponents have been in the top 26, when Jarrell Miller's best win is number 25 in Tomasz Adamek. And the rest have all been far below that. So again, for me, I think that Dillian Whyte should be ranked higher than Jarrell Miller. In addition, just while we're speaking of Jarrell Miller real quick, he has a fight on November the 17th against Bogdan Dinu for or at least potentially for the WBA regular world title, which is an official world title, of course. No matter how we look at it, officially, that's what it is. I know a lot of people don't view it as, but officially it is. But Bogdan Dinu is not even ranked top 50 in the world. So if Eddie Hearn can sway this one to be for the title, then he's got a lot more sway with the WBA than what I ever thought that he did. I mean, Jarrell Miller versus Bogdan Dinu, who is an undefeated fighter. He's, 18-0, I think he is, from Romania. But he's not even ranked in the top 50. Now, as far as the WBA goes, he's ranked number 9. Okay, but there are other guys around who are ranked higher than him, like Otto Wallin. You've got Bryant Jennings. You've got Dillian Whyte. You've got Trevor Bryan. You've got other ones who deserve a world title shot ahead of Bogdan Dinu, just based on their rankings, let alone the world rankings. So for this fight to have the WBA world title on the line, that's complete gash in my opinion. So anyway, as I said, Dillian Whyte is beating 4 of the top 26. Okay, now Tyson Fury is ranked ahead of Dillian Whyte in number 5. And this is kind of where I have a bit of an issue, and I know it's a bit of a grey area, because Tyson Fury in the top 50 is only beating one opponent, and that is Dereck Chisora, currently ranked number 12. He has beaten him twice, but the last time he beat him was 4 years ago. He did beat a world champion in Vladimir Klitschko, but again, that was 3 years ago. And who's he fought since? He's been out of the ring for 2.5 years and come back and fought Stefan Ferry and Francesco Pianeta, neither of which are ranked in the top 50. But yeah, here he is, sat at number 5. He is lineal champion. Is it debatable that he's only lineal champion because he's been inactive? He hasn't fought anybody. Again, it's debatable. Who knows? I mean, had he have not been off and he had continued to defend all his titles and his lineal, etc., his Ring magazine before he got stripped of that one as well, maybe he would still be the lineal. Maybe he would have went on undefeated still. You never know, right? So a lot of it is speculation, but the fact is he's been out of the ring for so long, and yet on these rankings he's only beaten number 12, Dereck Chisora. How does that work when Dillian Whyte has beaten 4 of the top 26? I don't understand it. Kubrat Pulev, again, he's the IBF mandatory, so again, yes, he should be ranked number top 10 or in the top 10. Number 7, it's kind of debatable, I suppose, but you know what? He has just beaten Hughie Fury, who is a bit of a name, but again, Kubrat Pulev hasn't had a fight before then for 18 months. So again, the whole thing is debatable. This is why I don't understand the rankings. Luis Ortiz, he's only ever beaten Bryant Jennings in the top 50. And Bryant Jennings, yes, he was coming off a defeat to Vladimir Klitschko on there. He went straight in with Luis Ortiz and got stopped by Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz has, of course, lost to Deontay Wilder. So again, I don't think a loss to a champion should drop you too much. So I don't have an issue with him being top 10 at all. But again, I think that there's other ones around, like Dominic Brazil. When's the last time he had a fight? Now, again, he's the WBC mandatory, even though Dillian Whyte's number 1 in the WBC. So again, the whole thing doesn't make too much sense. But he's number 8 in the world, and he's going to be defending his WBC mandatory position against a guy who I can't remember his damn name, and he's certainly not ranked in the top 50. How are the WBC allowing this? I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. Adam Kownacki, again, fair enough. He's coming off wins over Arthur Spilka and Charles Martin and that, and he's proven to be the real deal. He's best friends with Jarrell Miller. He's Polish-American, undefeated, as I said. So maybe, yeah, a top 10 for Adam Kownacki. Why not? Why not at all? So I don't have an issue with the top 10. I just have a bit of an issue with the order of it. For me, Jarrell Miller and certainly Tyson Fury should not be ahead of Dillian Whyte. And it's even debatable that even Alexander Povetkin should be ahead of Dillian Whyte. Am I being biased? Maybe. And again, you know, this is where I need to rely on you guys to say, listen, you know, you are being a bit biased here. This is why Tyson Fury should be ranked higher. This is why Jarrell Miller should be ranked higher. And this is why Alexander Povetkin should be ranked higher than Dillian Whyte. But as I said, Tyson Fury, he is the lineal. So certainly a top 10. And I'm happy that there's 3 Brits ranked in the top 10. There's also 4 Americans as well. So that's great stuff. But for me, I mean, Tyson Fury ranked to top 10. Fair enough. I think a 10th position would be pretty good. Based on his inactivity, based on the fact he is lineal and he's undefeated, but he's been off for a hell of a long time, so I think being ranked number 10 is a fair position. But to be ranked ahead of Dillian Whyte, no. To be ranked ahead of Luis Ortiz, probably not, to be fair. But again, I don't quite understand these rankings. I know that BoxRec do it on a point system. I don't quite understand the point system, as Tyson Fury has been inactive for how long? So how has he managed to get 207 points? Exactly the same as Jarrell Miller. So technically, Tyson Fury could actually be ranked number 4, in theory. But you know what? I think maybe they've done it alphabetically, which is why Tyson Fury got number 5. But for me, Dillian Whyte should be higher than number 6. This is why I need you guys to rein me in a little bit and say, no, you're being a bit biased. If I'm right, and I feel I'm right, that Dillian Whyte should be ranked minimum number 4, minimum. But anyway, that's what's going on right now. As I said, I'll break down the official sanctioning body rankings again, and I'll show where I believe corruption is as well. So keep your eye out for that video. So of course, click that thumbs up on this one. Drop yourself a comment below, of course, and click that subscribe button. Catch you all on the next video.